So, hey everyone, what is going on? This is Eric from Studio Apps, and today we got a special guest, Ellen Chen from freecashflow.io. Ellen, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, Eric, thank you so much for having me.
So, if you guys, we're happy to have you. By the way, guys, if you haven't heard of freecashflow.io, freecashflow.io is a leading accounting and consulting agency based out of Los Angeles, California, and they're focused on one niche and one niche only: online businesses and online businesses only, right? You guys don't do any other type of accounting.
Yeah.
All
exactly.
Right. You have a partner, Stanford, and you guys together have more than 20 years combined experience in everything related to accounting, tax allocation, tax filing, and just helping business owners specifically kind of keep more profit in their back pocket after handling everything related to the IRS, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're two U.S.-based CPAs here in the United States. We're both in Los Angeles, California, and we have pretty extensive experience as far as working for corporate companies, really multi-billion dollars, multinational companies, and from these companies, and you can probably see them in the news too. They're like the Amazon, the Facebook, the Apple types, right? And you always hear about how they're able to get away with paying very little or no taxes when they're these like billion-dollar companies, and you're like, wait, this is not very fair. But what you don't know is that these guys, they hire like tons of lawyers and accountants, and they basically look for every loophole possible, legal ones, in the IRS tax code, and then they figure it all out, and then they're able to use it all to maximize the tax savings. And we kind of learned that, from our experience working all these corporate jobs, and me being an auditor also at Ernst & Young starting out, one of the big four audit firms. And I was like, wow, these guys can do it. Then I want to take that experience, take all the tips and tricks, and help online business owners do the same.
Yeah, but I think most people think that it's something that only these huge companies can accomplish, kind of hack it out of paying taxes. You think that's something that small eCom businesses can do as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think that may be one of the misconceptions about tax and accounting, thinking that it's only for the big dogs, right? Yeah. And actually, the U.S. tax system is very rewarding for any entrepreneur. Anyone is willing to, stick their neck out and start their own business. The U.S. tax system loves that. They reward people, small business owners, for, taking that risk and starting a business. And there's a lot of tax incentives they should be taking advantage of. But we know, Eric, that, as entrepreneurs, you get really busy, right?
Yeah.
You guys have so much to do already, doing your Facebook ads, site optimization, figuring out upsells, downsells, cross sells. You don't have time to think about tax and accounting.
Zero time, and it's always a mess. It's always a mess. Right? You can never find the time to. You always say like, I'm gonna find the time to kind of organize everything, make sure that I have everything in order. It just never happens.
Exactly, but the thing is, what we're trying to educate people is it's so important. There's so much tax savings involved. It's almost like another source of revenue for you if you think about it. If you can save another 10 to 15% of your profit and then turn that into money that you can put back in your pocket, put back into your business and reinvest, just think about how beneficial that would be for you, right? But a lot of people, what they do is for taxes, especially in the US, they wait till the last minute, right? I'm sure April 15, you heard of that date too, right, Eric? That's tax day, right?
Yeah, of course. So nobody's available.
Yeah, 1 week away. They're like, oh no, I need to file my taxes now. And then they do it. But what they don't know is that's too late. When by the time you're doing it then, you're just trying to put numbers on a piece of paper and just, okay, you tell me to pay this much, I pay this much. Yeah, but really, you're paying much more than you have to.
And I think merchants take it for granted. Like the thing is, they kind of say, all right, I'm going to pay whatever is necessary in terms of taxes. And if you actually make these savings and you make the necessary changes to the way you work and the way you report taxes, it's just going to go directly to your net profit at the end of the day, directly to your pocket. So people just ignore it and kind of take it for granted instead of understanding that with just using a few hacks or just kind of understanding the law and the way it works can save you so much money in the process.
That's 100% correct.
And by the way, do you have like any personal experience specifically with running e-commerce stores? Why did you choose specifically online businesses?
Yeah, that's a great question, Eric. So actually last year during the, I'd say the pandemic, the COVID-19 times around March and April, that's when I actually started my own Shopify store. I everyone was, at home. They couldn't leave, right, with the pandemic going on. And then that was like the hottest thing ever, eCom, right? So
Yeah.
I was doing everything, what everyone else was doing, just reading a lot of forums on drop shipping and joining them. And I was kind of just looking at first, but I was like, I just got to jump in. If you don't start, you never know what's going to happen, right? So I kind of just jump in, started a store, and first store was total failure, to tell you that, because I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was selling a smart neck massager, because I thought I like technology, tech stuff, right? So I was like, that seems like something people want. Like they probably have a lot of neck pain from working from home now, because a lot of people can't go to the office, during the pandemic. And so I was like, yeah, everyone needs this, right? But I don't think I really understand like marketing angle. I don't really understand how to market pain point, how to do ad copies. So I thought just, opening a store, putting a product up there and people come. No, that's not what happened. Yeah. I think I only sold 2 units, one my first month. So I was like, no, I need to relearn how to do this. So
yeah, but this is
I have to go through a lot of trial and error.
I think as long as you got at least 1 or 2 sales, that's great. Marketing is kind of the thing that everybody gets confused about when they're getting into e-commerce, but that's the thing that is easy to learn. Learn what you do, like how to handle everything related to taxes. That's like tax filing and understand the best formation for your business. That's tough. And the fact that you have this, you learned it professionally and academically. That's a huge bonus. And I saw, I actually saw in the past few years, I saw multiple e-com business owners that came with from a background similar to yours, and you see the difference. You see if the fact that if someone knows what he's doing in these fields, it's just at the end of the year they're just generating way more profit, or at least they can invest back into the business huge amounts that other people just can't. They just pay it. So that's a huge bonus.
That's exactly right, Eric. Understanding your numbers is, I think, one of the biggest mistakes e-com owners do, right? They find success, they go to 5 figures and 6 figures and 7 figures, but then they lose track of their margins, right? Yeah. They don't really know about their profitability. They don't really know about their ROAS. And then at the end of the day, they're like, wow, shouldn't I have way more money than this?
Yes.
But then if they don't really analyze the numbers over time, they know which product's actually making the money and which product is actually losing the money. That goes a long way from someone you can see that's very successful and someone that you can see that just has a short amount of success and then burn out, right, and crash, right? And that's kind of what we also educate our clients on too, is how to sustain that long-term profitability and not just something just for 1 year, right? We really want to work with people who have that long-term horizon, and who really want to build a brand.
What would be like, can you give us a few basic tips that you think most merchants kind of ignore and then can help out to whoever is watching this, even if they're not, a huge company, some small things they can do, to get better at this?
Yeah, definitely. One thing is you just got to know your numbers, right? I know a lot of people, what they like to do is, just rely on Shopify, seeing that, that shiny Shopify screenshot, right? People love doing that, right? Taking their top line revenue and then posting on forums like, look at me, man. I just made like 200,000 this month. I'm my milestone. But they really need to look at the bottom line, right? They really need to look at after the ad spend, after operating expense, what are they left with? And then beyond that, how much tax is that going to be? When you come to paying your taxes next year, right? Mm-hmm. And I think a great thing they should do is use some software to help out, right? I think one thing I started learning from my Shopify days too is there's some great software for all kind of things out there, right? reConvert being one of them. Like I use you guys for upsell, but one thing I learned is I use QuickBooks, right? QuickBooks is a great way where you can export all your data from your Shopify site and you get it very organized, right? Where they tell you, how much expense exactly is going out this month, how much your ad spend is, and how much your bottom line is. So it gives you a very clear picture month over month. And you can start doing trend analysis too. Like this month you have 30% net profit, next month 28%, next month 22%. Why 22%? What happened that month that lowered your profitability? And you can really dig in and fix that problem and maybe stop selling certain items that's not profitable and only focus on the top 2 or 3 that is, and keep expanding and maybe just focusing your ad dollars on those ones also.
Yeah, and I think whenever you get these apps that kind of try to give you the final profit numbers, sometimes you get surprised because again, just having this top line revenue showing it out to everybody. That's cool. But I know personally, I've experienced this so many times where, you sold like $80,000 this month, and then you look at the numbers at the end of the month and you lost $5,000. And it's like, what?
Exactly.
How does it happen?
Right.
All right. Yeah, that's cool.
No,
let me look
exactly
at
right.
my questions. Sorry, just written down so small.
But and another thing I want to mention, Eric, is like that point that you made exactly correct. Is that a lot of people don't want to know that they're not actually making money out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that they're overspending on their ads, right? Because it's very easy to only look at the one that has good ROAS, right? But really, anything that you spend money on counts. It counts as an expense for you. But on the flip side, when this is the good part, if you're an eCom owner, all your ad spend is tax deductible, right? So don't be afraid of keeping track of that. And at the end of the day, if you're doing it yourself or if you hire someone to do it for you, give all those receipts to him, because those will be tax deductions for you at the end of the day.
Are there any other things that are not deductible in terms of e-com businesses that people should know of that maybe are sometimes confusing some merchants? Not deductible are deductible.
Yeah, I'll say that, one of the great things about starting a business is that you get to take a lot more deductions if you only have just on your personal tax situation, right? When you're starting a business, there's a lot of things where you can kind of relate to that business that if it helps you with the business, you can deduct it, right? So for example, things like having a laptop, right? Having a laptop, if you use it mostly for a business purpose, that's a tax deduction you can take, right? Office supplies, right? If you get supplies that you need to say, one of my more successful products when I was doing Shopify was rose bears. Those little bears with like little roses around it. It was like a nice gift item.
I started.
You seen those nice Valentine's gift, right? So I started buying that in bulk a little bit from China to sell, and I ended up having to buy a lot of boxes. I didn't realize how much cardboard boxes cost.
Yeah, that's
bar boxes. Some tapes and things like that, and those things add up. So I make sure I keep all those receipts, because all your office supplies, as long as related to your e-com business, are tax deductions that you can also take.
You guys in the US are lucky.
Yeah. And I know during last year, the people weren't doing as much traveling, but now that, COVID's a little bit better, people are getting vaccines now, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure travel is now back in people's mind. If you go and travel to, say, a e-com mastermind or a conference, right? As long as you can say, yeah, this helps and benefits my business, that trip that you take for business travel, that's tax deductible.
Oh, the entire trip?
Everything. as long as that trip, your flight, your hotel, the cost of the business conference ticket, right? All tax deductible. Meals that you eat.
So basically what you're saying is every time you go for a vacation, no matter where in the world, what you want to do is you just join a Facebook group of Shopify owners in that specific country and book a meeting with one of them over a dinner, and then the entire trip is just going to be deductible.
That is not a bad idea. Actually, I just put up a YouTube video 2 weeks ago teaching that. It's basically a way to get some personal enjoyment, some personal time with your business travel, right? So what you do is, say you take a 7-day trip and you want to go see New York City. You always want to see that. Yeah. And then you have a conference there, Facebook group, like you said, right? What you do is, in the beginning and end of your trip, you make that business purpose. So day 1, day 2, day 6, day 7.
And then it's justify everything in between.
Yeah, exactly. What the IRS cares about is when you fly there and when you fly back, that's the business end of it, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, in the middle, you can say 3, 4, 5. You can go sightseeing, go see Times Square, go see a game in Madison Square Garden, right? So that's what you do. You kind of need a business purpose overall. And what it is for domestic traveling, the rule is at least 50% of the trip needs to be business driven, right?
Got it.
So as long as you can say 4 out of 7 days is for business, the whole trip can be a business deduction for you. So that's the one of the rules and dumb you got to remember. 4 out of 7. Well, international travel is a different rule. It's proportionate. So if you do 60% business, then you can take 60% deduction. 70% business, 70% deductible.
For international, I thought you said that it's the first day and the last day.
So that's if you do domestic traveling.
Oh, domestic.
So if I'm in California and I go to New York, right? That's a domestic trip for me.
Got it.
So that's when you can really do that strategy where you do day 1, day 2, day 6, day 7, and business 3, 4, 5. You can be on the beach. You can go sightseeing, whatever you like.
Good for you guys. I
International
mean,
is different.
in the
Yeah.
US, you guys are lucky. Everything is a little bit simpler there. Obviously, it's these rules are per country. They're gonna vary
Definitely.
for each country. In Israel, it's a little bit tougher. But I know in the US, there are a lot of small tricks you can do to get more things deductible at the end of the year. So that's cool. So Alan, you guys have been working on this awesome course that kind of teaches everything that online businesses need to know about these topics, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about it? What exactly does it cover? The way it's built, and for people to learn about it, and then later you can tell us how they can apply, how they can test it out. I've seen it already, and I love it. But I think if you tell us more about it, it's going to be more beneficial for the audience because I know nothing about the things.
Yeah, no, I would love to do that, Eric. So the course is called Tax-Free eCom, Hyperdrive Your After-Tax Profit. And the entire point of the course is, it was inspired because when we go and, we post on a Facebook group when we try to give some free value out there, some tax tips during the season, we get a lot of DMs back, right? And it's a lot of people who are just drop shipping or just starting out. But our agency side, we really only take people who are like more six-figure and above, more like 300K and above, right, in sales. But for a lot of these folks, we're like, well, how can we help them out? How can we make sure they have the education so they don't get into like a compliance nightmare when they do start making money, right? So we kind of spent 3 months, me and Stanford, recording this course and really just putting all of our experience and knowledge into it and breaking it out into these 8 modules of different topics that we feel like are pain points for business owners. So we start off by just educating them on like IRS terms they need to know. Then we go into how to fill out the most common business tax forms they need to know. And then we just go into like how to have the best business strategies, business structures as far as like how you should structure business as an LLC, S Corp, C Corp, when you should, what level of revenue you should do that. And then we just go into all these tax loopholes you should be using for your business. Then we even go to, when you start thinking about retirement and you want the cash flow for that, how to plan for that, how to take advantage of pretty much every tax strategy you can think of from your beginning to the end of your journey through an online business. We really want to get them into the right mindset to not think about this at the end, but right at the beginning. So there's so much more potential and things they can do. So that's kind of like the purpose of the course. It's really for, the absolute beginners who are just starting out, but are making a little bit of money when they start worrying about tax, to all the way to really, advanced folks who, they also, maybe they can afford to hire a, CPA or accountant at that time, but still they don't want to get scammed, right? They don't want to go trust someone and not know what they're telling them and how much they need to pay is really the right amount, right? They really want to be able to ask the right question, be like, hey, are you getting this deduction for me? Are you taking this R&D credit for me? Like they want to let them know, like, oh, they know what they're talking about. I can't just fool them.
That's great. It sounds like, first of all, it's not just about taxes. It's also about financial education. Because if you tell people more about, how to save some money aside and plan ahead in the future. I know that many e-com businesses don't really think about these things, especially at the beginning, because they really focused on, getting the business started. And then after that, the fact that you're saying not, you don't want to get scammed by someone else. Obviously, you don't need to be an accountant to start a business, but you definitely want to understand like the main pain points and the main points that really gonna help you get ahead and understand these basic things. So that's great that you're providing this education for people who are not they're not professionals at this. And I think, if you look at the education system around the world, I guess it's in the US the same as it is in Israel. Nobody's teaching this when you're still young. You only learn these things when you try to open up a business. And that's someone needs to, take the lead and start teaching people how to do that. So the fact that you're providing this for everybody, that's awesome. That's insane. I looked at almost all of the course, even though it's not as relevant for me as it is because, again, I'm not a U.S. citizen, but and my business is not U.S. Do you also cover anything related to international businesses and the way maybe they can open a U.S. business or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely, Eric. So one of the feedback we've gotten is we when we post on this forum, there's a ton of international guys, right, e-com owners who wants to really break into the U.S. market, but they don't know how, right? Well, how to do it correctly. So one of the bonus module we're about to add to the course is solely focused on international sellers who want to, open a, say, US LLC, or have a US bank account, or even have US credit card, which I've learned as a best in class apparently across the world, because credit card points, right? And, they're very rewarding for business, especially if you can open a business credit card. And especially, if you have ad spend, because some of these business cards, they give like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times points for ad spend. And that can be, first class tickets for you guys, for, just free travel for you guys, for a lot of great benefits. So, we're going to have a module very soon that's just going to be focused on the best strategies for international sellers. First, open LLC, and then how to open a bank account, which has gotten a little bit harder after 9/11.
Much harder.
Getting much more strict.
Yeah.
But there are ways around it now where, you may not have to always travel to the US to open one. You can do it online because of these great like fintech startups that are here now. That make it more happening. So we share all those tips and advice in this new module.
There are a few loopholes, by the way. When me and my previous partner launched our first e-commerce store, we decided we wanted to have an LLC in the US, and it was super hard to get this bank account opened. So we used a company, I think it's called LegalZoom, to open the LLC, and then we didn't want to fly over because it's a very expensive flight to the US. Eventually, we kind of found a bank account in Israel that have a US branch, and we opened it up this way. It didn't work well because they didn't have an online system to manage everything. Eventually, we did fly after tons of headache trying to get it done in other ways. We ended up flew to Miami, opening a bank account, again back to Israel just to have this running. And today, as you mentioned, there are easier ways to get this done. And the credit points the flight points are awesome. I have a bunch of friends that are flying around the world pretty much for free, getting these crazy hotels pretty much for free, because they are spending tons on ads, and they made sure they're getting the best credit cards that are the most rewarding for their business. With they got like 1% cashback on everything and crazy types of returns. So this is definitely interesting to explore. All right, so Alan, can you please tell our audience where they can learn more, where they can find you, and if they want to get the course, how can they get it done?
Yeah, definitely. So, if there are audiences of reConvert out there who are interested and, curious about their tax and accounting situation, you guys can find us at freecashflow.io. And if you go to freecashflow.io/book, you can book a consulting call with us, and we can just talk through your tax situation and learn more about your business. Because we really just only want to work with you if you think we can be a perfect fit and really can help your business grow and really expand. And if you're interested in the course, we can really self-study and learn on your own. We can go to freecashflow.io/course, and they can go ahead and check out the course there. We have all our information there of all the modules and what they can learn in there. And of course, if they're a reConvert app user, we have a special code. You can get 20% off the course. I think the code is going to be reConvert/20. I'm sure.
Don't worry, we're gonna add all the relevant links in the video description, including the special offer for reConvert users. Any final thoughts? Anything you would like to say to our audience before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I always want to add to eCom and online business owners out there is just make sure you guys are working so hard. I remember my Shopify journey. I have a baby at home, so I can only do it between 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. when I was working on my shop. So I was like, man, this is a lot to do to run your own business when you're just a solo owner, right? You're the marketing guy, you're the website designer guy, you're the ad copy guy, you're the logistic guy, right? You're everything in your company. So I realized how time consuming that is. And when you're working this hard and you finally make something click and you're making money, you're making 6-figure, you're making 7-figure, don't give that money away so easily. Don't give up this hard-earned money away to the government, to Uncle Sam, and not educate yourself on what you really should be doing correctly, and to keeping more of that profit in your pocket because you earn it. You work so hard for it. So that's really what I want to leave you guys with. Just, find the right people to help you in the right areas, and make sure you keep all the profit that you deserve for working so hard.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I do think that many online businesses, many beginners, people, online merchants that just started out, they kind of found this area of expertise frightening. They're afraid to look at it and try to understand and figure out exactly how it works and how they can optimize it. And I really think what you've done with this course, you really broke it down in a way that is very digestible, very easy to understand, even for me, which I'm considering myself pretty dumb. I like my English is not good. I'm not even a US citizen. I looked at it and I saw, wow, that's insane. You can use this information to really, at the end of the day, just make more net profit and put it in your pocket. And this is something that is crucial. That's the main point. The main reason you're opening a business is to have this money. And once you generate it, you want to make sure you keep it, because it's very, if you want, someone will take it from you. So you just want to do your best to, keep everything legal and fair, but still just do the best you can. Do the best you can to keep it.
Appreciate Eric for the kind words. Thank you so much. And that's the whole point why we made the course. If we can educate just one extra business owner out there and get them to really think about it and not forget about it, not put it in the back of their mind, then we feel like we did our job. And we're very glad to hear that you're enjoying the course and it's really helping you understand more about tax and accounting too.
By the way, I already started selling it to a few of my friends, but that's just like, it's going to be on YouTube, but that's fine. So just to wrap this up, first of all, guys, Ellen, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time. What's the time right now in LA?
It is 4 a.m. right now.
You see, that's commitment, guys. This guy loves what he's doing. That's commitment. So first of all, thank you so much for being here and taking the time so late to having this interview. Guys, if you have any questions to Ellen or to us or about this course, just make sure to comment them in the comment section below. I'll make sure we answer each and every one of them. If needed, I'm going to ask Ellen personally to help us answer these questions. The links and the special offer is going to be also in the description below. If you like the video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button so we know whenever we release new videos or go live. And we'll see you on the next video. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much.